Hi, everyone. I'm Jez, CEO of FunFair, and one of the co-founders. So FunFair is a gaming technology company. We founded it in 2017. We demonstrated our first game and technology at EdCon in Paris. We launched the company in April. We did a token sale in June, so we're now a year old. And the company is presently about 45 people in Camden, in sunny central London. And we are now live on mainnet, so that's an achievement for a blockchain company. So our mission was to make games, as in casino gaming, fairer and better, and to allow trust in players playing games, because right now all the statistics show that there's a very low trust. When people play online games, a very low percentage of people actually trust that they're getting a fair game. The UK Gambling Commission, UKGC, actually did a poll a few months ago and announced that only something like 32% of people actually trust that online gaming is fair, and yet millions of people play it. The industry is a $50 billion a year industry. So we thought that we could use blockchain technology and smart contracts to disrupt this industry and make it more fair and give people a fair game. So FunFair is Ethereum-based. We do need smart contracts to work. It's a decentralized, trustless gaming platform. That means that we build the technology, we license it to anyone that wants to run a casino. They actually host the technology themselves, and that is a server and an Ethereum node. So it's very node-based. We think we're going to be one of the first mass market applications to go live. Obviously, there are mining companies and there are exchanges. Those are very successful, but they're kind of inwards facing into the crypto market, whereas this is a mass market application designed to disrupt an existing industry, the casino gaming industry. The Fun token unifies all of the participants in the ecosystem. So the casino companies themselves, the players, the affiliates who send them traffic through marketing, and the game developers who actually put games on the platform. So if we were to build casino games in smart contracts and put them on the blockchain, they would be fair, and they would be transparent, and they would be provably fair. However, they would run really slow, because blockchains are really good at providing trust and transparency, but they're really bad at performance and really bad at actually doing instant real-time applications. So we've had to build a technology based on state channels that we call fate channels. And these allow us to take the smart contracts that we've already built and put on the blockchain and take them and bring them off-chain to execute real-time, which allows for a compelling and interactive experience for the players. So we think these are the first state channels to be used in the wild. I'll explain more about them in a minute. So this is what our ecosystem looks like. We have the FunFair platform that we've built, that the casinos run. We license it to casino companies. They, in turn, work with affiliates who recruit players. So this ecosystem kind of works together. Then there are game developers who build games and put them on the platform. And we use our fate channel technology and transaction fees to make it all work and make it all hang together. So I'm going to talk technical in a second and explain how some of this works. But before I do that, you probably want to see what it looks like. So I'm going to talk over while this is a recording I made yesterday, if it plays. And so let's not too loud so I can talk over it. So this is what the user interface looks like. It's like a dApp store that people can choose what games they want to play. And actually, the casinos decide which games go in each casino, so they can make it completely customized however they want. Yeah, you're going to see the first graphical thing that runs on a blockchain. Most blockchain applications are like text and numbers, and this one's actually graphics. So we interact with the blockchain. Currently, this is using Chrome and MetaMask. When you sit down to play a game, you bring some money into the table. Apologies, I've abruptly edited this to allow me to do the short talk. So you'll see some really clumsy editing in there that I put in last night. So here we're playing Blackjack, and you can see that the game is completely real time. When the player is hitting hit or stand or deal or whatever, everything happens immediately, just like it should do on the internet. And we've done that by bringing the smart contracts and running them off-chain, so that the transactions are going back and forth between the player and the casino, but they're all happening and they're signing each other's transactions in real time, but they're doing it in a way that it could go back onto the chain at any time. So this is a perfectly normal Blackjack game. In a second, you'll see me quit and run one of the other games. We're able to do games of full commercial standard. That Blackjack is as good as any other Blackjack that you'd see online. Which game am I going to choose now? OK, so this is a slot machine game called Treasures of the Crypto, which we've just developed. As you can see, when you actually start the game, you actually have to choose how much gas to use to actually bring to allow your transaction to bring money into the game. And that's the only time that it interacts live with the blockchain, which is the only time that you're actually waiting for the blockchain, just for one block to be mined. But as soon as that has happened, everything else is completely real time. So you can spin the reels or play the game, do anything you want, and everything is completely real time. I think we've lost our sound now. Oh, there we go. I got some of it back. So here, this is a full commercial quality slot machine game. It has 30 win lines. It has bonuses and free spins and all the things that someone would expect when they play a commercial slot machine game. And the whole thing is running locally in the browser of the player, but it's also running effectively on the blockchain through smart contracts. So I'm going to move on and explain how the technology works. So the fate channels are what makes all this happen and makes it all possible. So we have a node-based architecture, which means that every casino can run one or more nodes, which is effectively a server. This means that if there are lots of casinos, there are lots of nodes, and each one is completely independent and is in control of its own players and its own transactions. This gives us the capability to do potentially thousands of transactions per second, instead of the limitation of the blockchain today, which is, in Ethereum's case, 15 transactions per second. The fate channel technology also has real-time random numbers, which are provably fair, and the player and the casino both work together to generate a unique random number, which is used inside the games for the roulette to decide where the ball lands on it, or the slot machines to decide where the real positions are, etc. So our state channel technology is general-purpose state channels, which means that they're Turing complete. And that means that we can run anything off-chain. We're not just doing payments. We're not just doing micropayments or anything like that. We are actually running the entire game that came from the blockchain in a smart contract. We're running the whole lot off-chain. And so it can run super fast. And yet, it is fully transparent. Everything is still back on the blockchain when the game is done. And if there is any dispute, in that if someone tried to cheat or anything bad happened, it can actually send the partial result back onto the blockchain and let the blockchain finish the game and make it fully transparent, but also punish the cheater. So it's a very robust solution. I actually don't have enough time to explain more technical, so I'm going to skip that. So you probably have heard of payment channels. The Lightning Network on Bitcoin is an example of a payment channel. Raiden on Ethereum is also an example of a payment channel. And what payment channels do is let you make payments from person to person off-chain, and they do that using a hub system. But the problem is that there are only payments. And when you have real applications that run on the blockchain that actually do something more than just payments, like they actually execute code, those payment channels don't help you, and actually they become a limiting factor. So we had to create a generalized state channel technology that's called fate channels that will let us run everything off-chain. So not only do we do payments back and forth between the player and the casino, and also divvy up what the game developer is supposed to earn in revenue share and what the affiliate gets in their marketing revenue share and so on. All of that happens in real time. The system also charges a transaction fee, which goes into a staking pool. In our technology, the state channels hold on to the funds in a temporary escrow that is only while you're playing the game, so only while the session is in progress. And then as soon as you've quit the game or finished the game, the funds are released, and the casino gets their share, and the player gets their share, and everyone else gets paid. So it's a very real-time system. So in terms of games development, the way we've created these games, and also the way we've designed this API to allow anyone else to create the game, the games are in two parts. They're in the graphical front end, that is what runs in the web browser, and that has the whizzy graphics and the nice user interface and the sound. And then there's a back end, which is the smart contract, that computes the outcomes, decides what the rules of the game are, decides who's supposed to be paid, what the outcomes are, et cetera. And so games are always in two parts, like the DApp and the smart contract. We also do an additional thing to make sure that fairness is adhered to, in that we whitelist the games. So anyone who wants to create a game, they can, but if they want to put it on the DApp store so that anyone else can play it, it needs to be whitelisted. And what we do for that is check that it's fair. We not only check the code, the smart contract, to make sure that it's playing fair, but we also check the graphics and the look and feel, make sure that the cards are depicted correctly, make sure that the ball looks correct when it's landing on the roulette wheel, and so on. And there's a lot of aspects to making sure that games are fair. So fairness is not just about code, it's about everything. It's about the look and feel of the game. So in terms of scaling and capacity, the Ethereum network is highly decentralized, and so that makes it slow. And they're currently achieving about 10 transactions, maybe 10 to 15 transactions per second, which is great for low-volume applications like what exists today, but it's not good for mass-market applications like games or any application that is designed to appeal to the mass market. So we needed to scale the capability of the network, and we weren't prepared to wait for the foundation or for anyone else to actually build new scaling technologies, so we built it ourselves. In our case, each node or each server, which could be any number of casinos, handles its own set of players. So you could have hundreds of players playing at the same time at each node, and none of them are putting much load on the network because it's only one transaction needed to start an entire game session that could last hundreds or thousands of games. So we launched this technology to the casino gaming industry in February at a big exhibition in London called ICE. We've applied for multiple gaming licenses, which we'll be able to use to assist casinos in launching their operations. We have an API and source code available shortly. The system is fully functional. You can try it today on showcase.funfair.io. You can only play it on the test nets, but our beta testers that are whitelisted can play it on the main net with real fun tokens. And we are going to go live immediately after our beta test cycle, so we're talking weeks away. So this will be one of the first blockchain applications that is aimed at the mass market to go live. Thank you very much. Okay.